Okay, well, I think we'll begin and then we'll let people in as they come. So thank you so much for joining us this morning, and welcome to our annual conference briefing ahead of the conference, which begins next Thursday. We are going to do a really quick overview of the conference in a nutshell and provide you hopefully with some information regarding delegates and the overall structure of the days. And then we'll also introduce you to the platform that we'll be using and explore that a little bit with you just to get you familiarised. But first, on behalf of all of the team that you've been working with so far, the stream leads, and I know that some of you have been working with Ben as well, our CEO, thank you so much for agreeing to speak at the conference this year and for joining us in various roles, from chairs to speakers in our sessions. We are really excited. Of course, it's our annual conference and it's the first one that we have done online, so you'll have to forgive our learning as we go through it, but hopefully again this session will familiarise us all to each other, but also to the platforms and the sessions that we'll be running. If you have any questions throughout, please just raise your hand or unmute yourself. I'll also pause at points and just see if there are any questions or thoughts from anybody. And just to say that hopefully you've all been receiving a more in-depth briefing note from your stream lead who you've been in contact with. But if not, that will soon arrive in your inbox, hopefully by the end of today. So again, that will have all of this as well in a written form. If I could ask everyone just to mute themselves when they're joining, just so that we can, be sure to keep the lines clear. Perfect. Okay, great. Well, welcome to our conference briefing. As I said, in a nutshell, the conference is running on Thursday, the 1st of October, Friday the 2nd, Monday the 5th, and Tuesday the 6th. And the reason for doing that is normally we run a 2-day full days conference. But because of time zones and because of holding it online, we felt that it was a better experience for delegates, but also speakers from overseas in particular, to split the days into just morning sessions. So it's roughly 9 a.m. to about 1:30 p.m. daily. And that allows, again, as I said, delegates to join from across Southeast Asia and Africa. It runs a little late for some, but hopefully it's as accommodating as it can be. And just to say as well that all of the sessions will be recorded. Hopefully you'll be asked permission at some point when you log in later. So all of the sessions will be recorded, as some sessions run simultaneously, but so that allows all delegates and speakers yourselves as well to access all of the content as well after the conference, and it will be online for quite some time. So hopefully everyone will benefit, even if it's late at night and they can't make a particular session. So, sorry, I'm just admitting people into the session as well. So, as I said, we're going to be running the conference online through a platform called Hubelo. It's an Indian organisation that has set this up, and they work with clients from Microsoft to small organisations like ourselves in exactly this area, so running conferences online. Of course, in the last 6 months, their business and the way that they work has grown phenomenally. And every sort of week or so we're introduced to new features as well. So it's definitely a learning curve for us and for the Hubelo team. But that also means that we've got some great support behind us to run the conference digitally. The conference itself is going to welcome around 300 delegates, and that includes yourselves as speakers and chairs, also our staff and our trustees from all around the world. And then delegates themselves tend to comprise, so this is our 2009 data, but actually looking a couple of days ago, it's a very similar kind of breakdown of who's attending. So a large majority from academia, again from around the world, a second largest from the NHS, all levels and cadres of health staff from across the NHS join us, as well as health workers from, again, all around the world. We've been able to offer bursary tickets to LMIC speakers, and delegates. So that's really allowed us to welcome in, again, health workers from around the world. We also are joined by a lot of civil society members, obviously being an NGO ourselves. We work really closely with the wider sector, both in the UK and across Africa and Southeast Asia in particular, So many of them are joining us as speakers, but also delegates. And government and arm's length bodies will also be with us. And I'll show you a slide in a minute which shows how they're involved. But from ministries of health representatives and the Minister of Health to the UK's government departments will also be featuring. As I said, it comprises sort of all levels of management and cadres and positions. So health and development researchers, development practitioners, research centres and clinical staff, of course. So the content in a nutshell really is split into two streams, and hopefully you're all aware of this because you've been invited to a particular stream. So the the Thursday and Friday sessions are focusing on quality. And so that is working with William Townsend, Richard Scone-Jones and Graham Chisholm. So hopefully if you're working on the quality sessions, you've heard from one or other of them, and they are the stream leads for this section of the conference. And this section, so the Thursday and Friday, is exploring the health partnership model, so a model that sits at the centre of THET and how we operate our programmes and our partnership work. So really looking at that model and how fit for purpose it is in today's world. The second stream is led by Graham, and that is looking at quality improvement in health systems, working very closely with colleagues at the WHO and from across the health partnership community to look at how we're ensuring quality healthcare and expressly exploring quality improvement itself as a concept and what that means for programme work. And then the third one is called the training model there, but actually it's sort of morphed into a digital technology stream. And this will be exploring our use of technology, obviously in an era of the climate crisis, but of course, again, looking back at the last 6 months and the months to come, COVID-19 and how we've all had to change the way that we operate and support health workers and volunteers to engage globally. So that will be a really new stream for us and a really interesting exploration, hopefully, into different models that other organisations and partners are using. The second set of days, the Monday and Tuesday, look at inclusion in the broader sense, and that is led by Raquel Perez, Summer Simpson and Edward Tonkin. So again, hopefully these names now, you've heard a name that now is familiar to you. These sessions look at gender equality and social inclusion, so really exploring those issues that are of course central to many development programmes now. We know that the UK government in particular, it's a key focus for work, but is it the same everywhere? Should it be the same everywhere? And how do we actually explore jazzy concepts in the realm of health system strengthening as well, and apply that to that approach? And the second one is migration and mobility stream. So again, we know that millions and millions of people are on the move for various reasons, both in terms of seeking out job opportunities, but of course forced displacement as well. So this is a really interesting couple of sessions again, working very closely with the WHO and partners across Africa and Asia again, looking at how our health partnerships and health system strengthening programmes work within these settings, but also how it's just becoming more common to be working with patients, service users, and health workers themselves who are mobile in the way that they live, whether forcibly or chosen. And the third part of the inclusion stream is the politics of health, and this is really looking at the power dynamics at the centre of our health partnership model, but our programmes more generally, and led by Edward Tonkin, who's our country programmes manager. This will be hopefully a fascinating deep dive into how partners really feel about partnerships with UK leads and LMIC leads, and how those power dynamics play out, and how we ensure that programmes are really responding to the needs of what is wanted and needed by our LMIC colleagues, and not the trends that we find so often talked about in the civil society arena in the UK and global health more generally. So hopefully that's a helpful overview, and just to sort of set it out on our very colourful agenda, and forgive me, I know it's small, so I'll share these slides afterwards as well with you all, and hopefully again you've been given a link to them, but just so that you can see the agenda as a whole. So the pink and the yellow are the quality days, the Thursday and Friday, and the blue and the green are our inclusion days. Featuring keynotes from Dr. Tedros, the Director General of the WHO. He'll be opening the conference with a video address to us all, and we'll be joined by the Minister of Health from Myanmar. I know there's a couple of other keynote speakers on the call. We've got Dr. Bethany Moose, who's sharing her experience as an Improving Global Health Fellow. Also looking across, we're going to have a really interesting, hopefully, conversation between two health partnership leads, the Northumbria and KCMC Tanzania link, who've been going for several decades now, and really exploring some of those key concepts at the heart of the conference. You'll also see in the middle there, and there's a little blue square which says the Wales and Africa Conference. And again, sorry, it's really small, but that's just to highlight that we're also holding fringe events in the afternoons and evenings and over the weekend, when our THETConf agenda goes to sleep, so to speak, and then we've invited some other organisations to add into the agenda. So really fascinating conversations that Wales and Africa are leading. Again, they have the Minister of Health from Zambia. They'll be looking at ethical storytelling and permission needed to do so. So lots to sort of engage with as well in the downtime from our own conference agenda. So the sponsors and exhibitors, so THET run this conference annually, and to be able to do so, we seek sponsorship and exhibition opportunities from our partners and colleagues in other organisations. Health Education England are a key sponsor of the conference and have been for many years now, really trying to promote the benefits of global engagement for NHS staff and of course colleagues overseas as well. Johnson & Johnson, who we run several programmes with, again are another key sponsor, along with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, who we are set to run quite a large campaign focused on the NHS and exploring their interest in global health and engagement over the year to come. And our fourth sponsor this year is Glasgow University and a Wiley Publishing partnership. Again, a new partnership, but we're really excited to have them with us. And I won't run through our exhibitors, but hopefully there are some familiar logos and names there of organisations from Nursing Now to NHS Scotland. And there are a couple of other exhibitors as well that aren't featured here that signed up in the last couple of days. And I'll show you in a minute how we expect delegates to be able to work with them. So again, we hope that attending the conference allows delegates, and again yourselves if you'd like to attend more than the session that you're speaking in, to learn about key global health concepts, hear from experts from across the world, which is of course you on this call, to learn about our community more broadly and the health partnership work that goes on, to network. Again, I'll demonstrate how that networking opportunity works, and to support colleagues around us, both in terms of the health workers, but also those working in organisations and collaborators that we know well and work with often. So that's the end of sort of the conference in a nutshell and a broad overview of how it's playing out. So I'll just pause for a second and see if there are any thoughts or comments here. I should take silence then as a good sign, or I've shocked you all. It's panic, but hopefully it's a positive silence. So now the next stage is we are going to introduce you to the platform itself and hopefully get you logged in and your profiles set up so that all of this slightly makes sense now in the grand scheme of things. So I'm going to share my screen and talk you through hopefully an email that you received probably yesterday afternoon, if not this morning. Again, if you haven't received it, don't worry, we can send it out now, but do let us know. The most obvious place for it to be, very annoyingly, is in your junk email folder. So I apologise for that, but it's because of it being an external system. Many of our organisations' emails send it straight to junk. So do check there if you can't see it. This is what the email will or should look like. So if I just share my screen again, this is what the email should look like. So it should be coming from THETConf, and in the subject line it should say join the conference. Again, hopefully it will have your name. It's obviously not my name, and then a button which says join the community. And at that point, if you click that button, then you head to this page. Skip my slow internet. A second, sorry. So if you click that button, it should take you to, so this is what you should see now on your screen. So hopefully it now says create your profile, and it has these fillable sections, so your first name, last name. Some of these will already be filled in. Raquel has pulled from the speaker forms that you've completed and share forms that you've completed. She's pulled a lot of the information that you provided us then through into the platform. So some of these fields will already be filled out, but we'd be grateful if you could complete any that aren't. And hopefully it's quite a straightforward process. And I'll just you click through, and again, there are some more questions here. Do you consent to recordings? How did you hear about the conference? This next section on interest is really about the key things that you would like sort of to be contacted about, or for people to know that you're interested in. So this really helps with networking and sort of a matchmaking, so to speak. So whatever you choose here will be visible. And it means that if, for example, I would like to talk to people about diaspora, I'm particularly interested in diaspora, I would click that, and that on the next page when I show you that, people will then be able to search, and they'll be able to see that you've selected that as one of your interests, and they can connect with you and chat with you. So hopefully we've tried to include a lot of categories here. So I won't run through them all, but hopefully there's several that are of interest to you all at the same time. Again, you choose your options here and press finish. And now this takes you to the conference platform itself. I'm just going to pause. I can see a couple of questions. We'll send that through to you, Rigero, now, and hopefully get you linked in. I'll just pause. I'm assuming, again, I hope everyone else has been able to find that email then in their junk folder. People nodding. I think people are flexing, but okay. Great. So this takes you to the conference overview page. So this is basically the home page, but what you'll see as well here is this little pop-up. So this basically is going to really quickly talk you through the different elements of the platform. So do click through that in your own time and have a look at those different features. But in the meantime, I'll sort of explain them to you as I go. So reception area, obviously we are missing our own reception tables this year, but a reception area was just a really quick glimpse of what's happening and about the conference, a link through to the networking lounge, which I'll explain, some key exhibitors, and then this shows you the leaderboard, but this is essentially just the people who've been using the platform the most. So over the days of the conference, we hope to see lots of engagement here and not that staff popping up at the top of it, hopefully. The event feed is really like a Facebook feed or a LinkedIn feed. So again, hopefully some of these features seem quite familiar, just with slightly different icons and a visual identity. But this is the event feed. This is where we're able to share posts throughout the days of the conference to highlight particular resources or events, volunteering opportunities that are happening. So the THET team will be posting on here and hopefully trying to start conversations with delegates and getting some feedback on how things are going. We can launch polls so we can see how everybody thinks the conference is going, if they're enjoying it. We can share videos with them from delegates, and delegates themselves and speakers, of course, are more than able to share their own opportunities here as well. So if you are working in a trust and you have an opportunity which you think might be relevant to those on the call, please do share it here. Again, the team will be monitoring that as well. Our agenda, so this is where you'll start to see, hopefully, your own familiar faces pop up. So this is our agenda. This is where everyone will come to be able to access the sessions that you are speaking in or chairing. As you can see, they are filling up and they have a sort of brief overview of what's happening in each of the sessions, the times and the speakers that are taking part. And again, you can click on Navina. I can see what session she's going to talk in, and I can message her if I'd like to. The other thing that we're able to do is if for some of us, we might not be able to attend all of the sessions, and also there are some sessions, as I said, running at the same time. So what you're able to do is if in the background you need to be on work calls, but you're also attending the conference, you can actually add sessions to your calendar. So an Outlook calendar, a Google calendar, so they flash up like a normal meeting, just to give you a prompt that a session is about to begin and you can join it. So hopefully, again, there's quite a lot of prompts here for people to join the session. So again, this just goes through the days, and as you'll see, we've got some networking time in here as well, which we'll explore a bit further, and the other days are down the side here. Then we go to speakers. So again, I think a lot of you will see faces now pop up, your own faces. So we've separated out our attendees and speakers, so people are really quickly able to see who is speaking and what positions you're in. And this is again why it's really important and helpful to be able to put as much information on your profile as possible, so that people can go and see who's talking and try to connect. So if I just actually do it again, we've got her bio here, which again you shared with us also. If you haven't already done so, I think your stream leads have probably reached out to ask for your biographies, so that we can add it here. But this is what it looks like. We can also, you can make a note about it as a delegate. You can say she looks really interesting. I hope I can catch her later on, just so that it's a prompt for you. And you can also search, of course, to try and find, if you thought somebody was speaking, you can for them as well and find them there. On attendees, it's very similar. So again, they're all filtered out into sort of different groups of attendees. So we have the set team. So hopefully if anybody would like to chat with one of us or meet with one of us, they're able to. We've got our sponsors and exhibitors, again, all here the same. Our speakers again are here, just in case you haven't seen them on the previous page. Our trustees and honorary advisors, many of which are again joining us as chairs and speakers as well, and then delegates more broadly. So all of those looking to join us this year as delegates. What you'll see here is if you go hover over a person, you're able to book a meeting with them or just chat with them. So if I do this with Mikhail, who I think is online, I can start a chat and just like, again, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, and you can just write any messages you want and they get sent, and it's up to them then whether they reply to you or not. Obviously, hopefully they do. But again, a really quick way of meeting with someone, connecting with them, and going about it that way. That is that. And the other thing that you can do again is create a meeting with them. So if I think, oh, I'd love to speak to Raquel about something I heard her speak earlier on X, or her profile looks fascinating, I'd love to hear what she thought about Y. Again, very much like a calendar invitation, I can choose to set up a meeting. I've got all these different time slots. Hopefully 2 a.m. is not one for you, but you know, 10:30 a.m. in the morning. I can send a request. I'd like to speak to her on the 22nd. I can put in what I'd like to talk about. I send the request, and then again, it's up to her to accept that, and hopefully that all gets set up, and you then have a record of it in your kind of back end of all of this. The next section is the lounge part, and this is really the sort of space which we would envisage in a normal conference would be that coffee time. It would be that time where you're lingering around the coffee table and you just start up a conversation with someone about the session you were in or about where they work. So we wanted to recreate this, and this is a really nice, I think, feature of this. So as you'll see, there are virtual tables, and essentially what you do is you would sit at a table, and I'd sit there for a while, and hopefully someone would come along to the table and join me at it. And as soon as that's happened, so Raquel joins me at the table, a chat has popped up, and now we can have a conversation about anything. So again, in those networking breaks, we really hope that people will run and get a coffee, come back, and maybe take a chance, sit at a table, see who's there, and have a conversation with people. I can also see Kerry, so she's joined the THET grants table. I can't get myself off this now. So this is going to be a space. Some of these are going to have particular themes to the table. Oh, sorry, I can get myself on Kerry's feed as well. So some of these are going to have a particular theme to the table to try and direct people to talk about certain projects or country discussions as well. So this one will be looking hopefully at some kind of grant programs that we'll have, and we'll be able to do a question and answer on those. And there'll be other ones that are exploring our country programs work. So if you're particularly interested in hearing about what's going on in Zambia, or have something that you'd like to share with our Zambian team, then they'll be on a table, and you'll be able to again sit at the table and join the discussion as that runs on. The other way, so as I said, again, the meetings this is where your meetings will show up. So any meetings that you book during the conference will show up here, very much like a calendar, and you'll be able to see them and join them as and when they come up. Just to highlight, on all of these pages, there's this little quick guide button, this question mark here. And if you click on it, it has a really, I think, helpful and hopefully quite straightforward sort of run through of each of these features as well. So if you get to the day, or you get to the page and you think, oh, I don't know what this is for, I don't know what I was supposed to be doing here, there's little quick guides all around the place to help with that. And obviously the THET team will be there as well. But hopefully this should, again, really help to kind of ease any confusion or forgetfulness, which I am suffering from all the time when I click on these tabs. So hopefully that helps with that. The other feature that we have is rooms, and at the moment we don't have any live because of the scheduling. But if I just go to another demo site, so rooms. So this is very much like the sort of lounge space, those tables that you saw, but this allows people to share their screens. So here it's more presentation based. So here we will be having some of our exhibitors, the Change Exchange, for example, will be having a room in every networking break where they'll be presenting on what they do in terms of behaviour change and influencing that within health system work. We'll also have a cinema room here. So one of these rooms will have a loop of some of our films that we've put together over the years. So again, if you want a coffee and you can't face talking to anyone, but you'd like to have something hopefully beautiful and interesting going on in the background, you can head to our film room and watch some of those and learn a bit more about that. We'll also be having one on virtual volunteering again. So we'll be highlighting some of those opportunities that are open to delegates. So that hopefully is a really nice feature, we think, and allows exhibitors to have a bit more interaction with the delegates that are hoping to join them. The final two slides, and then I'm going to stop talking, is the other sponsor and exhibitor slide. So this is where we highlight, again, this is basically our virtual tables that you'd have in the networking room right by the coffee and tea and the biscuits. So this is where you would come to learn about our exhibitors. If I choose Cambridge Global Health Partnerships, so again, as you can see, very much like a sort of table, they've set it out, they've got an about us, which explains what they do as an organisation. They've got their key contact details, and they've added some videos here, again, to better understand what the health partnership is doing. And they've added some great photos from their partnership work, which are really lovely to browse through. And then they've got their stall people, they're people who are going to be there to answer questions and talk you through their work and connect you with people here, again, with the same meeting or chat function. And the other way you can do it is right at the top here. So you can say, I'd love to meet someone who's on the stall today. Again, their details are there and you can set that up. The other way of doing it is if you're pressed for time, you don't quite fancy a chat today, but you'd just like them to receive your details, maybe to add to a newsletter or to follow up with afterwards, you can share your details. And this is basically like dropping your digital business card into their inbox. So they will get a copy of your profile, your delegate, your speaker profile, and then they can choose to follow that up with you later on after the conference. So again, back in their court there. So that's the conference in a nutshell. I hope that makes sense. I feel like it's taken us as a team a long time to sort of really get to grips with it. But what we're hoping to do is we're running briefing sessions throughout today, and we ran a couple last week as well, to familiarise yourselves and delegates and the THET staff team with the platform before we get to next Thursday morning, so that by the time we get there, hopefully people will feel comfortable in using the platform, in talking to people, in using all of the different features of the networking spaces. So again, I'm going to stop and ask if there are any thoughts or questions on this. I really hope the silence is positive. Okay, well, I know that you're all extremely busy, so I don't want to take up more time than is needed, and I hope this has helped. Oh, Dorcas, yes. Morning, Dorcas.
Morning. Sorry, I'm very dreary because I'm coming from a night shift.
Oh,
I didn't want to miss this. I need to know what day I'm chairing, and who my direct contact person is, because I think juggling frontline work and doing THET is going to have me very dizzy. So I think I need a little hand, and also I think for communication I'm best on WhatsApp, because I think that work very well with the diaspora engagement program.
Okay.
So I need baby steps, really.
No problem. Raquel is your key contact point. I think she knows, I know she's on this call, she's extremely aware, I know, of how busy you are with night shifts and everything. So I think she'll be in contact today. She sent through some things, but I will WhatsApp them to you, because as you say, that's easier then. So we'll get those to you today.
Lovely. Okay, well, otherwise, thank you and well done. Huge well done. A lot of innovation, a lot of work is going and is going on behind the doors. I know that. So well done to the entire team.
Thank you, Dorcas. Thank you. You've just reminded me of just one other thing that I wanted to explain, because it's again, it's going to be I suppose not as straightforward or normal as we're all used to doing. So as speakers, you will be joining a Zoom link. So for you, it will look very much like this, the experience. So either you'll have been sent, or you will be sent a link in the next couple of days to join your session, or you will be sent a link about half an hour before your session starts. And that's because some of them are on slightly different formats. And so because of security and technology reasons, we can't share all of the links for all of the sessions in advance. So your leads, your stream leads that you've been in contact with, will make that very clear as to how you'll be receiving those instructions. But in essence, it will be a Zoom link that you receive that you'll just need to click through and join like we have today. You will see this screen, but just so you're aware, some of the sessions will be streamed directly onto the platform. So you won't see all of the delegates that have joined your session, you'll just see each other speaking to each other. And what the delegates will see is this side of things. So, so this is what the delegates will see. So this is, imagine this is you on Zoom presenting, and this is what they'll see. If you're sharing a PowerPoint slide, obviously your slides will be there with your little video feed there as well. But this is what delegates will be looking at. So they'll still be on the platform. They'll be watching it live streamed onto the platform. There'll be this chat feature that, again, they can chat with delegates in, they can write interesting comments, hopefully, about resources and things. But we'll also have the question and answer discussion points. So this is where they'll be writing question and answers. So as speakers, you don't need to worry about this at all, because these questions will be fed into the chat, and your chair will be leading on asking you those questions and leading you through that discussion. But I just wanted you to know that that's how it's happening. So questions will be written, and then it will be up to the chair to decide how and who they're asked to. The other feature is polls. So some of your sessions, and again, you're very welcome to as speakers, include a poll in your session. So this is where we will be doing it. And again, we can share the results with you afterwards. And there's a list of attendees so we can see who's joining your session. So this is probably the least straightforward part of the whole piece, but all that you really need to know is that you will be joining a Zoom link. You will see the speakers and the chair that you're in the session with on the Zoom link. And then depending on the format that your stream has chosen, you'll either see all the delegates and they'll be able to unmute themselves like today, or if you can't see them, it's because they're watching it live streamed on there and they'll be writing their questions to the chair. Lena, sorry. Yeah.
Hello, how are you? Nice to meet you. So I'm the health director of UKMed. So thank you very much for the invitation. I know my colleague Alison has mainly been the contact person. I just have a question regarding the topic itself, because we are under the migration, which is I'm very passionate about. I'm concerned about overlapping. So do you prefer that, I don't know how many speakers we have in that particular panel. If you want us to touch a little bit on specific topics that are of your interest, and perhaps, the rest of the, so we don't avoid, talking about the same topics.
Sure, no, absolutely. Thank you, Lena. So again, I think there is a briefing note that's probably about to land in your inbox any minute now. I know Summer has been working on it. She was just waiting for one other speaker to confirm. But yes, absolutely. I think there's 3 speakers in the session with you and 1 chair who's our country director from Somaliland. And yes, absolutely, we have tailored each of the sessions, is applicable to everybody, hopefully, and we've tailored each of the sessions so that each speaker has the expert area and the programme work that they're most familiar with, which has overlaps, of course, because of the natural theme of it, but hopefully doesn't overlap in the greater sense of actually exploring your experience and thoughts on that. So we've set up the sessions, and again, this hopefully goes to everyone, so that there are perhaps points of difference, perhaps sort of potentially even contradictions in how people are approaching things, but really that's because we want delegates to really explore these themes and interact with them, and in particular question things and ask those slightly uncomfortable points sometimes, which we know. So that's how they're set up. Again, I'm really sure, I think, because I know someone's working on it, so I think it's about to land in your inbox on that. And again, hopefully that helps. That goes for everybody as well. So that, again, I can't stress enough that hopefully by the end of tomorrow, you will all have received a written briefing document, which will have all of this information in written format, as well as an overview of your session, including the chair and the speakers that are joining you, with a small brief on each of those, and what it is exactly your stream lead would love for you to share with delegates. So yes, I'm on top of all the stream leads, so it's coming your way if it hasn't reached you already. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Lena. And please do chase us if it doesn't come.
Yeah, to prepare the slides, obviously, because I didn't want to, just send something to send. Okay. Thank you.
May I ask a question, please?
Of course, yes.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much, Charlotte. I think you've made it clear that for speakers and chairs, it will be joining your session via Zoom link.
Yeah.
And I'm aware that in my session with Kerry, there will be breakout rooms as part of the agenda for that session.
Yeah.
So will that just be the same as Zoom, in that I think there may be someone on your side who's managing the slides? So in the same way, will they also manage the breakout rooms, or is there something we need to know in that respect?
No, that's all absolutely fine. Yes. So so again, as you know, or as hopefully you'll become aware, in each of your sessions, there will be your set stream lead who you've been in contact with, and there will be a person who is supporting the technical aspects. So exactly as you're saying, they will be working on the breakout rooms, they'll be sharing slides if you're not able to do so. And just a note, we are encouraging, where possible, speakers to share their own slides, only because it avoids all of the difficulties in case there's a delay in hearing you, or it breaks out a little bit. It just prevents us from not missing a slide or jumping over it, for example. So we are encouraging that, but again, absolutely fine if you can't and you feel more comfortable with us doing that, that's fine, just let us know. So there'll be a tech person, and there'll also be a question and answer person. So this is hopefully to avoid those moments that sometimes happen if delegates can't unmute themselves or can't think of a question at the moment. There's always that 30 seconds, which is a bit quiet sometimes. So there'll be a set person in your session who will also be thinking up hopefully some brilliant questions to pose to you all and the wider kind of attendees in your session as well. So there'll always be someone there with a question to ask, and the chair will again very much be in charge of that. So yeah, there's a whole kind of set team who's going to be running around in the background, hopefully, to manage all of those bits, so you won't have to worry about them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any other questions? No? Okay, well, I will give you back 20 minutes of your morning then, which I'm sure is needed, knowing how busy you all are. And just thank you again for joining us in a week or so's time now. Please, if you have any questions, reach out to either the person that you've been in contact with us at, or please email me as well. And we're be assured that we're working as quickly as we can to get all of those briefings and overviews to you. But if you haven't received them and you need more information, please do let us know. And what we'll do is we will top and tail this recording, and we'll share it with all of the speakers, because there's many more who weren't able to join this morning. So we'll share it all with yourselves and with those who weren't able to join, along with the PowerPoint slides, just so that you have them to hand to refer to in the meantime. And I hope that you're able to join us for as much of the conference as you can, just so that you know you're all registered to attend the full conference, so everything is open to you. So please don't feel that yeah, we only would like you there for the hour or two that you're taking part. Please join us for more of it and dip in and out as you'd like to. It would be, yeah, it would be a pleasure to have you there as attendees as well as speakers or chairs. So thank you so much, everybody. Again, reach out to us if you have any questions. Hopefully this all helps and has made sense for the morning, and I look forward to listening to you all in a few days' time. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Thank you, Charlotte. Very
Thank you very
useful.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.